Are you in a place right now where you're starting to think, I think I want to rent a chair? Or gosh, you've been dreaming about opening that salon suite. You want more freedom. You want more control of your life and your books, and you want a bigger piece of that income. But guys, before you make that move, I want to help you understand what that decision really requires of you. Because guys, it's not just jumping in and renting or decorating your suite. It's not just doing hair anymore. I mean, you're running a business. And in this episode, I'm going to break down what it actually looks like for you to actually rent a chair or have your salon suite. I'm going to help you understand what's expected of you and why so many hairstylists struggle when it comes to making it succeed. Because a lot of times, guys, we get so excited about the dream of it that we jump in without having the right foundations in place. So before you make that decision, listen to this episode because it's going to help you make a confident decision and not an emotional one. Do you want a full chair with a steady flow of clients and more confidence behind the chair, but you struggle with slow books, inconsistent income, and feeling stuck or discouraged? If so, my friend, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Sherry Brody, hairstylist, educator, and mentor behind the chair. After rebuilding my business multiple times, I've learned how to own my chair like a business, creating clarity, confidence, and consistency without the feeling of burnout. So grab your shears, step behind the chair with me, and let's build that business you've been dreaming of. I'd like to share a review that just came in with you today. I just love reading these reviews. It just keeps me inspired to just keep getting my message out there. It says, I couldn't recommend this podcast more for young stylists. The insight and wisdom Sherry brings to each episode is not just enlightening, but encouraging too. She brings decades of industry knowledge in an easy to understand and straightforward way. So glad I found this. 3 exclamation points. These reviews mean the world to me. So if you have been listening to my podcast and there's been some episodes that have really helped you in your journey, would you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and leave me a review? I would love to know. Let's get into the episode. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Cutting Through It. My name is Sherry Brody, and this topic that we're discussing today, I think is something that if you are a hairstylist that is in a place where you're thinking about going out and renting a salon suite or renting a chair in a salon, this episode, I have you in mind with this one. My first salon that I worked at a commission salon for the majority of my career until I got married to another hairstylist, and we had a dream of owning our own salon. So next thing you know, I find myself sitting in front of a salon owner in a salon. And I was just kind of going along with it. My husband at the time, he was just he was just a go-getter, and we just jump in. He would just jump in with both feet, and we went in and, asked questions. And next thing you know, she's handing us the keys a couple weeks later, and I'm a salon owner, and I was super excited about it because I love to decorate. I don't know, if you're a decorator, then you get me. But it's like I could buy a candle, bring it home, and for hours I'm moving things around. But so here I was, it was like a kid in a candy store. I was so excited to decorate this place and put everything together. And well, as time went on, the reality really hit us hard. I mean, we both had a great clientele. A majority of our clients followed us, and we were keeping afloat. But it really became apparent that, holy moly, we know how to do hair, but running a business and we didn't just take a leap and go rent a chair. We took the big leap and owned our own salon. So being the person that I am, I've never in my whole career, I'd say that's probably benefited me the most, and why I've been successful in my career and been able to pick myself up when I have fallen on my face is because I've never, ever been too proud to ask for help. I have always seeked others out that I wanted to emulate, that I admired. And so at this time, I enrolled us into a course, and it was a business course for a hairstylist to teach us how to run this business the way it needs to be ran. And it was the best thing that we ever did. We ended up owning that salon for 17 years. I have the fondest memories. That salon is where I learned how that I loved educating. I really, really learned what it takes to run a successful business, working behind the chair, but also owning a salon. And I share that with you because it doesn't really matter what salon you guys, what type of salon atmosphere you're working in, commission, rent, or salon suite. I want to really drive this home to you is that as a hairstylist, like, you are not just doing hair, you are running a business. That chair is your business. And if you can really learn how to put strong foundations in place, then it's just going to set you up for success. If you want to learn more about what I'm talking about, I just would love for you to head over to my website, On Point Hair by Sherry, SHERRI.com. And you can check out the resources I have there. Sign up for my pro tips. I'm always sending out tips from my wisdom, from the times I've fallen on my face, picked myself up. I share those with you so that you don't have to go through that. But I talk a lot about how, and I teach you how to really own your chair so that you're a confident stylist. So in today's episode, I really want to focus in on what it takes and what you need to think about to see if you're ready to actually make that jump and start owning your salon suite or renting a chair. So the first thing I want you to think about is I really want to tell you like what renting really is. And when you might be thinking, oh, Sherry, I know what renting is. Yes, you are. I'm going to go through it anyways. If somebody doesn't understand what renting is you're going from being essentially an employee where you are, if it's ran right in a commission salon or an hourly wage salon, you are your own business and you are in charge of paying your rent and all of the businessy stuff for your business. You have to take care of that. So I want you to understand that when you're in a commission salon and if you're in a place where you're just like, I want more piece of the pie and that's why you want to go, or why am I having to be here? Don't have a client. Why do I have to go out and, market or do whatever to get clients in the chair? Isn't that the salon owner's responsibility? When you work in a commission salon, it's a place for you it's a safe place. It's a great place for you to learn from the other stylists around you. It's a place for you to learn how to communicate with your clients. And yes, when you're in a salon like that, you're all working together as a whole at a commission salon to make the salon successful, because when it's successful, you guys are successful. And yes, the salon owner, has to do marketing. But if you as a hairstylist want to be successful and grow faster, then you need to learn how to speak about your business and talk about it and get in front of the camera on social media and share your, expertise and why somebody want to see you. You learn how to stand out as a stylist and you get your feet wet and you become confident in a commission salon, and your salon owner provides education for you and gives you a growth path so that you have goals to achieve, and you learn how to see how many new clients you're doing, how many clients are coming back in. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, commission salon is that place for you to really build your foundations. And when you go to rent, you may be if you rent a chair in a salon, you are, working in a salon. In essence, to the eye and physically, it doesn't feel any different. It can, because the vibe is different. But the difference in that is that when you're renting a chair, you're no longer all trying to grow the salon as a whole. You are all trying to grow your own personal businesses within that building. It's like a mall of stores, but you are in a salon that's a mall of hairstylists, kind of to speak. Not the same way with salon suite, but they're all separate little rooms. But Now you can be in a salon. That's a whole nother episode, but finding a salon, some salons that do rent have good team. They do pick each other up and help each other grow. And that's amazing. But I'm just here to tell you that when you go to rent, you are in charge of the success of your business. So you want to really learn, have some good business foundations in place and really make sure you're in a right place for that. So one of the things I always recommend is make sure that you have a good amount of income in your savings. So if you add up how much your rent is each month, you want to make sure you have that there. When you go to rent, you're going to have the income as well up front to pay for all of your back bar, that color and stuff, that's on you. And have some type of a booking system so that you can keep track of your clients and all that information and all that stuff. So in essence, what I'm trying to say to you is that you have to make sure that you have the right mindset and you have the financial, you've thought about it, and financially you are ready and you have a cushion while you're building your business behind the chair. And just a side note, usually on an average, you can't depend on 100% of your clients following you. You're going to lose about 10%. It just happens, guys. It just does. So anyway, that's what I want to explain about renting. And the salon suite, you're bringing it up a notch. It's still the same thought process, but you have to have the financial income, not only to put the products in there, but now you've got to have the responsibility to provide the towels, all the refreshments. What kind of things are you going to offer your clients so that they feel loved on and gives them that experience that they want to have? That's down to, music, refreshments, towels. I already said that, capes. There's just a lot more overhead, the decor. You usually are going to have like the cabinets and the chair for the salon suite, but you've got to be able to provide all the rest. So I guess the first one, I want you to just really, really understand the difference. And also, guys, if you want to be successful, you've got to continue to educate. So you want to make sure that you have discipline with your finances so that you put money away for your education, because in a commission salon, that's part of what your other part of the commission goes to is education. And education is not cheap, and it is vital for the growth of your business. The next thing I want to talk about is, the expectation versus reality. I mean, you're thinking in your mind that when you rent a chair or you have the salon suite, the biggest one is that you have freedom. You have freedom to come and go as you please, set your schedule. You have nobody dictating to you what to wear or, the services that you have to provide. You have that freedom. And yes, you do. And you're looking at the money. You're like, okay, I'm going to get the whole piece of the pie now. There's no more commission that I'm giving back to the salon owner. Well, you're going to find out real soon, like I just shared with you, you need to set up a budget before you even start renting. You need to make a list of all the expenses, like your starting expenses, a list of everything. Like, okay, if I'm renting a chair, all right, I've got to make a list of how much product am I going to have? How much is that going to cost? How much am I going to have to do each month? What is my rent? I've got to get liability insurance because now I have my own business. I've got to get my business name. I always recommend having your own website as well. So you've got to put the income in for that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot more to it when you start renting. You want to make sure that you have this thought process in place, because the freedom and the independence and income that you think is so great, if you do not have a solid business plan, which is what I'm talking about, and a solid budget written out so that each month you're like, this is my target. This is how much I need to make each month to make it. And then you break that down into what you're charging for your services and the hours that you're working. And you can figure out how many hours you have to work with as much money as you're charging to be able to make that. But then you've got to also add on to that. Okay, I've got to make sure I put money in a pool for my education. Oh, and I've also got to make sure I'm paying for my taxes. So, and guys, that's a big one. You got to pay your quarterly taxes every quarter. And if you think you don't really need to do that and you'll do it at the end, I will put in the show notes the episode I'm talking about because it's not coming to the front of my mind. But I did an episode where when I owned that salon that I was sharing with you, we had a big audit and I learned some big lessons in that audit. And trust me, guys, you never want to be audited because it is not fun. So I recommend that you budget, making sure that you're putting at least 20% of what you brought in aside so that you can pay those taxes so that doesn't get you. So the reality of what I'm trying to share with you is that you've got more pressure on you because you have a lot more responsibility as a renter. And that's all I'm going to say is that if you're not prepared for it, the pressure, the responsibility, if you have slow months and you are stressed about making an income and you're just completely stressed about those books, then you start running your business on low self-esteem, fear. And what eventually happens is you get so burnt out. And then the next thing you know, you're advertising for somebody to take over your lease. It's or help you with it. And it doesn't have to be that way, guys. It's if you think about it before you jump in. I'm a poster child for somebody that gets a thought in her head and jumps in without any thought and then learns from her mistakes and falling on her face. I'm that girl. I have been so impulsive and made so many mistakes in my life. I have learned from them. I have fallen on my face. I have had some wonderful people in my life that are highly successful. And you know what? They fell on their face too, but they learned from it and they picked themselves up and learned from it, rebuilt, and then was even better because of it. So the next issue I want to talk about is the 3 areas that I want you to make sure that you're ready in before you make this decision. So I've already shared with you, okay, guys, I hope you get the picture that renting, it's so great and it sounds great, but I really want to drive home that yes, you've got to keep the dream alive of what you want, but I want you to make an educated decision. I want you to know reality of it. You have to understand the business side of it. So the first one is financial. We've talked about that. You want to make sure you have a good business plan in place, that you know what your expenses are, not only monthly for your lease, but yearly and just all of that. You need to make sure that that you're setting yourself up for success so that you have a consistent income. I'm going to tell you right now, if you do not have consistent income, a loyal clientele, and you don't have at least 3 to 6 months of income set aside, then wait until you do. Just saying. Okay. The next one is skills. Where are you at on your skills? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a hairstylist that's kind of winging it on your haircuts, or you're not charging top dollar for your work, you're not getting high paying clients, and you're not 100% confident in your skills. And when I talk about skills, I'm talking about how are you with communicating with your clients? How confident are you? How confident are you on setting boundaries in your business with your clients? Because that's another thing that you've got to do. You're not protected by a salon owner any longer, you know? Those clients that no-show, those clients that mistreat you, clients that become a mental drain that you need to fire, that's all on you. How confident are you with doing that? Now I'm going to go back to one thing that I'm going to tell you, and you'll always hear from me when we talk about skills. Haircutting is the easiest, the number one way to get clients in your chair and build trust in you and your abilities and to build a loyal clientele. It's the bridge. There's no overhead on a haircut. It's your time. And when I talk about the success of the salon that I had for years, the first thing that I trained all my stylists on, number one, was, first of all, I trained them on giving a great shampoo, but we had a system in place on how we communicated with new clients, how we communicated when they came in the door, all that stuff. But I put them through a training program and taught them the artistic disciplines and foundations of haircutting because I knew how important it is to be able to give a quality haircut and a consistent haircut. Clients will pay for quality and consistent. And each one of my stylists, They grew and my salon was successful because we became known not only as a training salon in there, but we became known that at our salon that you could get a great haircut, a quality service. You're going to pay more for it, but your haircut's going to last. And they trusted us so that, we had a booming color client, we did all the services, extensions, everything. But the way we got clients in the chair and the way I've had to rebuild my business, oh my gosh, quite a few times. But it was always easy to get the clients in my chair because I had strong foundations in haircutting. There wasn't one haircut that a client can show me or show any of my stylists that they could not look at it or I cannot look at it and decide whether it's going to fit on them and how to break it down in my head and how I was going to create it. And then we were able to be creative and make it personalized for them. And with a strong foundational haircut, the haircut lasts for a long time. They're able to style it every day. They feel good about it. And then when they come in and you talk to them about a highlight or haircut, they've built their trust in you and they're going to do whatever you ask and they're going to refer you. So I'm going to get off that bandwagon, but I'm going to tell you, if you do struggle with haircutting, I do have a course. It's called Cutting with Confidence. And it's not only just cutting, but I also have, a consultation part in there too, because that is key. I'm trying to be able to figure out if the style a client is asking you for is going to work. And if you're interested at all in just checking it out and seeing what it's all about, just head on over to On Point Hair by Sherry, SHERRI.com, and go to my website there and click on Cutting with Confidence. But anyhow, where are you at on your skills? If you're just starting out as a new hairstylist, it's going to be so hard for you guys to start out renting without a loyal clientele, without the skills, without the wisdom, without experience, so that the clients will trust you and follow you. The other thing is are you ready mentally? We as hairstylists tend to be people pleasers. And I think one of the biggest things that we struggle with is learning how to set our boundaries with our clients. And, when we're ready for a price increase, how do we tell them that? Because we live in this place of, oh, I'm going to lose my client. I've been there a million times. If you aren't confident that your abilities are top notch, and if you're still in the people pleasing, meaning you always want to please them, but not to the point where you're not setting boundaries within your business, and you don't even know how to raise a price, or, you're not confident in your skills enough, then don't make the jump. Keep it as a dream. Make yourself a dream board, put it somewhere where you can see it, and then go have somebody mentor you, educate yourself, but get the experience you need before you jump in. All right? Because guys, honestly, independence, which is what we all want, we're all business owners. If you do it without the foundations in place, it does nothing but create stress and burnout and not success as a hairstylist. So I want to do just a short little thing on Commission Salon before we close this episode. I just want to tell you, if you're in a commission salon and you're thinking about leaving, there's some things I want you to think about. Or if you're thinking, I'd just rather rent, that's fine. But think about everything I just shared with you about those, what it takes. There's so much more, guys, to renting and, so much more involved than what I'm sharing here now. But the whole premise of this is to make sure that you go into it with a little bit more understanding of what you're jumping into. With a commission salon, if you find a salon that has traffic, that has a great vibe, that has a growth plan in place for you as a hairstylist, that provides education, that has people in there that you want to aspire and be like, then stick with it until you have outgrown it, until you're in the place where you've got a good solid, your feet are solid as a hairstylist and you've got a great clientele and you've learned how to run your chair as a business and you've taken control of it, then make that switch over to rental. So I have an ask. I have an ask of you. I'm going to challenge you on something. I'm going to challenge you to really sit down if you're thinking about leaving and going to, renting a salon suite or chair, is sit down and write, what are you frustrated about? And really think about, ask yourself, am I really ready? Do I have the foundations in place? And what do you actually need right now to get yourself on that path? So if that's something that you want to do, that's a great goal. But you've got to be able to be successful, really think it through, think through everything I told you, like financially, are you ready? Skill set, are you ready? Mentally, are you ready for the responsibility of being your own boss? Think it through. Because guys, when I opened my salon and I didn't think it through, wow. Oh, I don't know. If I did it on my own, I don't think I would have kept doing it. You know, I was lucky that I had somebody else in there that was fighting for it with me. And I had people around me that I could go to ask for help. So guys, if you're feeling unsure or you're stuck, I want you to know that you're not alone and you're not behind. You just might need some help on getting yourself on the right track. And maybe you're not sure, am I ready? Am I not ready? I don't know. Like, if that's you, then I encourage you to head over to my website, onpointhairbySherry, SHERRI.com, and request a coaching call with me. It's amazing what you can get talking to somebody who's been through it. When you tell them where you're at, sometimes it's the simplest things that you need to do to get yourself set up for success and to help you get on the right path. And if that's something you're looking for, I would love to help you. And maybe you don't want the coaching call. Maybe you're a little bit, I don't know, but I want to be in a supportive environment. Then also in the show notes, you can check them in the show notes, but I also have a Facebook group. It's called Client Building for Hairstylists. Super simple, but I'm trying to build that right now. And it's a place I opened up because if you are somebody that has a question about this or you want some answers, then I would love for you to join that Facebook group and shoot me a question because I'm in there answering them. So anyways, I just want to thank you for listening, and I hope this episode has helped you. Again, I will link an episode or the show notes, or in the show notes, I will link the episode I was talking to you about the tax thing, you know, why that's so important. Because that was a hard time in my career. But anyways, happy haircutting, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Hey, friend, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If it helped you, I'd love for you to hit subscribe and leave a quick review and share what stood out most for you today. When you leave a review, it helps other stylists find this show. And hey, if you want to hang out with me more and learn alongside other like-minded stylists who are working on building their clientele as well, I have a free Facebook group I just started. You'll find the link in the show notes below. I'd love to have you there and hang out with you. I'll be back next week. Until then, happy haircutting, and remember, your chair is your business, so own it like a pro.